everyone. So it's been 3 months I've been using my Galaxy S20 and I've reviewed this phone 2 months ago and a lot of people didn't like the way I criticized this phone. Guys, I'm here to just share my experience, not to say what you want to hear. So I will just only recommend some phones when they are worth your money. I wanted to do this review after 2 months as well, but I didn't get any major updates. My phone is still running on May patch and I got this patch on 1st June, but I got the April patch early April, so somehow it's getting delayed now. In Europe you can get June patch, but in India it's still on May. Even my S10 has a June patch right now. So let's talk about this tiny elephant in the room. I want to start with one thing. I am forgetting the difference between Snapdragon and Exynos. I'm not saying it's not there or Exynos on par on Snapdragon, but somehow it doesn't bother me anymore. I had plans to switch to OnePlus 8 Pro, but it's still not available in India for sale, and I am kind of glad that I stick with the S20 for a while. So this phone has been growing on me lately. I love how it feels in my hand. So after using this Rhino Shield crash guard and not the TPU case that came with S20, the phone looks beautiful. I also like the Samsung reduced the edges from the sides. I mean, it was not the problem with S10 as well because it was a smaller device, but I know a lot of people who use S10 Plus or S20 Plus or S20 Ultra and they love the flat display rather than the curved, so that you don't have accidental touches. Although the cutout on the right hand side on S10 didn't bother me as much, but having it in the middle and that too small, I mean, you will not even realize it's there. I know a lot of people who give preference to power over the screen, but I think display is the major part of a phone. Because you have to interact with it every time you need to do something, and you will love this display. I mean, after S10 and adding that dynamic AMOLED, Samsung has done something with the display. It's really beautiful, and to top up with 120Hz, I mean, it feels really smooth. It feels like it's flowing, and I know Samsung didn't give you the option to enable Quad HD Plus with 120Hz refresh rate, but I think it doesn't matter that much. So after using it for a while, I don't see a difference, and especially on 6.2-inch screen, the text is still sharper. But yes, I would love to have an option so that I can enable it if I want. Now let's talk about the processing power. I am not going to talk about the difference between Snapdragon and Exynos anymore. It's there, but you get what you get. And it's been performing really well after some updates. It doesn't heat up as much, so I don't notice it. I've been starting playing Call of Duty, and it warms up a little bit, but not as much as it used to be with PUBG. I'm also using my Xbox controller to play the game, so I don't feel the heating as much, and I connect my phone with the HDMI cable to the monitor, and the experience has been really smooth for me. I didn't see any sort of frame drop in Call of Duty, but somehow in camera application the phone heats up a little more than usual. I hope they fix it. In camera, I think this is the best Android phone for video right now, and from the stabilization is amazing from both front and rear, and I have done some comparison with S10, so please go check that out as well. I've been meaning to create a full in-depth S20 camera review, but it gets a little boring at home. But if you guys still want me to review this S20, please let me know in the comment box. When it comes to photos, the bigger camera sensor has been great as well. The photos are crisp, the dynamic range is good. Also, Samsung has toned down the color as well, but you have to turn the scene optimizer off. I love the wide angle camera as well. The details are much better from S10. It's just the hybrid zoom that is average for me. I mean, I like the S10 zoom much better than this hybrid zoom. Samsung has done a lot of improvements in night department as well, but the night mode is still weird in S20. Sometimes try to create a sharper image but over darkened a lot of space. For the battery life, a lot of people are saying the battery life has been improved on S20. It's been more or less same for me. Sometimes I get a good screen on time, sometimes I don't. I am usually on Wi-Fi, so I have almost 20% juice left when I go to bed, and it's going to be less when you are on mobile data. But I think usage will decrease when I go to my normal office working life. You have 25-watt fast charger included in the box, and I'm really satisfied with it. You get usually 60% of battery life after 30 minutes of charge, so I'm impressed with that as well. It's weird to say out loud, but I think One UI is the best Android skin out there right now. I know a lot of you are going to jump on me and ask, what about Oxygen OS? I know Oxygen OS is fast, but I think Samsung has polished this One UI 2.1 really well, and it is less boring than Oxygen OS. So it's smooth rather than just being fast, and after S10 I think I didn't face any sort of lagging issue with Samsung that we used to do in past. I think Samsung has improved on sound a lot. I mean, it's been much better from my last year S10. The sound experience is amazing, the media experience is amazing. I know I miss 3.5mm jack, but the AKG earphones that come with the box, I think they are the best earphones that you get bundled with a smartphone. The one thing that still irritates me is the fingerprint sensor. I'm glad it's there and this point of time where you have to wear mask all the time, but this is one of the worst fingerprint sensor that you can rely on. I know a lot of you have been thinking what changed in last 2 months, why I'm not disappointed anymore. I think I got used to it. I just love the 120Hz refresh rate on this phone. The screen is amazing and the user experience has been good as well. I'm a moderate user, so the phone doesn't bother me anymore about the performance, but I still think it's not worth the money what Samsung is asking for. But the problem is we don't have a lot of phones out there. The OnePlus 8 Pro is still not here to purchase, and iPhones are really expensive, so you don't have many options right now. So if you can wait for OnePlus 8 Pro, I would suggest wait for it. But if you want to go and buy the Samsung phone, you are not going to be really disappointed. Just do not think about the difference between Snapdragon and Exynos. You can't do anything about it right now. And I'd really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. It'll give me more reason to buy new phones or new items to review. My name is Rohit. I'll see you in the next one. Till then.